What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that everybody is enjoying their weekend. So, Ludacris has dropped out of the Rock the Country tour after today, after the backlash that he received from his fans online. It says withdrawals. January 16, 2026, Ludacris officially dropped off the tour on Friday morning, just days after the announcement. Organizers confirmed he is no longer part of the lineup but did not provide a specific reason for his departure. Listen, it does not take a rocket scientist to realize that the reason for his departure is that he was reading the immediate feedback loop that social media provides from his fans. People were saying that they were done listening to his music. People were calling him a sellout, all kind of things. Let's go ahead and get into this article. So it says rapper Ludacris has seen his fans threatening to boycott his music after he was added to the lineup for a music festival, which has been dubbed the MAGA Music Fest. Listen, and they weren't going to add him without his permission. He probably saw what happened to Chrisette Michelle. I wish that she would come back or make some new music because women are always held to a higher standard than men. You know what I mean? Snoop has performed for Trump with no backlash. Nelly, he's on the poster right now, right beside Ludacris's name, there on the bottom, right on the top entertainers. You'll see the very bottom right, Ludacris and then Nelly. And there really hasn't been backlash from Nelly in regards to him performing for Trump. So Ludacris, on the other hand, I feel like he's a little bit, you know, closer to the streets or got his ear to the streets. He's a little bit more socially aware than Nelly. And Ludacris is also a part of the Fast and Furious franchise. I don't know if they're going to make any more, movies. They already have like 50, 11 Fast and Furious movies. But the point is, he is a lot more involved in his career, I think, or a lot more relevant than Nelly. Although Nelly did just do a show with Ashanti, the TV show. I didn't watch it, but I know a lot of other people did. But yeah, this is not a good look, especially after what Ludacris, how he has come from Atlanta. He was an independent artist. If you guys don't know, way back when, Chris is his real name, he would sell his mixtapes out of the trunk of his car, and which is a very smart way to do things, right? This is before social media, really before even the internet. And that's how he became, so popular. People were really enjoying his music underground. And so we all love a good come up story, right? We love a hustle, we love a grind. And that's how he became, and he talks about it in his music. So to see him now align himself with so many people who have anti-black views is disappointing. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people were saying that they're done with Ludacris. A lot of people are saying that they're still done with Ludacris, to be honest, because once you align yourself with people who have enacted policies that hurt, black and brown and indigenous people, now they're talking about US citizens have to have their quote unquote freedom papers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to have documentation that proves that you're a US citizen. And I'm like what in the Jim Crow 2.0 is going on? So to see Ludacris and Nelly, to be honest, although we know where Nelly's alliances are, but to see Ludacris on that poster, a lot of people were disappointed. So Ludacris faced backlash from fans who threatened to remove his songs from their playlist after he was added to the lineup to this music festival. The rapper has seen a barrage of comments from angry fans who have been left disappointed about him joining the list of performers at the 2026 Rock the Country Music Festival, which has been dubbed the MAGA Music Fest. People love a nickname. I love it. While the festival is not officially politically affiliated, it features a string of performers who are known for their support of President Donald Trump. I'm surprised Nicki Minaj isn't up there, to be honest. But then again, they're really misogynistic too, so I don't see a lot of women on that lineup. Miranda Lambert, I see her, but other than that, for the top billing, I don't see any other women. After it was confirmed that Ludacris would join fellow rapper Nelly in performing in some of the advertised shows, he has seen a surge of comments on social media where fans of his music have made it clear that they will be turning off his music from now on. Rock the Country has earned its MAGA nickname due to the country themed lineup, pro America branding, and connections to artists such as Kid Rock and Jason Aldean. It comes as the daughter of Trump's doctor made a bombshell claim about his health. A pinned Instagram post from Ludacris showing him walking around a penthouse suite in a white robe while rapping has been flooded with comments from unhappy followers. One person wrote, quote, just removed 4 of your songs from my playlist. It gets a lot of traction. This is inexcusable and inexplicable. But Cat told us. When I tell you, baby, everybody is referencing Cat Williams. Just a comedian slash prophet. I just made a video about Ryan Davis and how it reminded me of, when Kat told Shannon Sharp that his unnatural alliance or allegiance to losers should be studied. Ryan Davis got on there saying that his 10-year-old daughter's love is transactional. Baby, that's not transactional. That's kids being kids. Kids actually need parental not only guidance but also they need parents to provide for them because kids can't go out and earn a living for themselves. They're children. They still need to be molded. She's just out of her formative years. She needs you for 8 more years and then you'll be off the hook. Well, anyway, back to Ludacris. So they said the Cat told us. Cat told us. When I tell you, I need him to not even he should even go back on Shannon Sharp's podcast, because after the way Shannon Sharp did his own daughter and gave Gabby, that girl he was messing with, 23 million, Cat needs his own podcast. I want Cat Williams to, give us a podcast and give us a yearly, rundown like he did in 2024. I would definitely tune in. A second person said, another artist I love who I can no longer support. I hope it was worth it. A third added, quote, unfollowed and blocked from all my streaming services. MAGA doesn't get my money. Disappointing. I know that's right. MAGA doesn't get my money either. I'm just talking about from people who support this regime to, none of it. I don't associate myself with, I don't have an unnatural alliance or allegiance to losers like Shannon Sharp. And Ludacris is unfortunate because all money ain't good money. You know what I mean? You're a multimillionaire. You have all that money from the Fast and franchise, movies alongside of your music and things. I'm sure you have investments and you don't need this money. And now people are essentially, fans are writing that they're done with him. A fourth person wrote, quote, people need to start unfollowing like Nicki Minaj so they can understand how big this is. It only affects them when it starts affecting their money. 1 follower down, 10 million to go. A fifth social media user posted, I cannot say how profoundly disappointed I am with everything that's going around in the world that you would perform and support those people, actively attacking your community, your history, and your existence. And that's true, right? Because if Ludacris was not famous, I can guarantee you that, one of these ICE agents would have no problem pulling him over and harassing him, even if he was in Atlanta, right? They're going from Minnesota to all these different places. When they were in New Orleans, you know what I'm saying? New Orleans, they weren't playing. They had all kind of dolls and all kind of foolishness. I don't mess with, I don't play with witchcraft and voodoo and demons and stuff. And I'm not judging those who do. Everybody has free will. But what I am saying is that people don't want ICE there. Like now in Minnesota, we have, reporters coming from all these other countries, Japan and Germany and all these other places because of what's going on. And, people are pouring cold water, which you guys have ever been to Minnesota, you know how cold it is. Cold water so that ICE is slipping on the ice. Like people do not want them there occupying that city. And so for Ludacris to, align himself with this tour, it is disappointing because you would think that somebody who got it out the mud and who talks about, being proud of who he is and his heritage would not put himself in this situation. It says, hold on, let me keep reading the article. I didn't know that you had even worn a Confederate flag on stage, and that me and my wife recently attended and watched you here in San Diego. And I'm going to tell you something. I regretted the reflection of your personal character in this moment. Is anyone ever going to remember you from before? It's really sad. You have a lot of talent and not much decency to do stuff for a buck and not for principle. The addition will see Ludacris appear on stage in Anderson, South Carolina, alongside Creed and Shinedown, as well as Florida, with Blake Shelton, Brooks and Dunn, Nelly. Meanwhile, they'll be on a lineup in Hamburg, New York, alongside of Chris Rock and Hank Williams Jr. Both Nelly and Ludacris have been slammed as, quote, sellouts and cash chasers by those who are not happy that they would join the lineup of such a MAGA focused event. While Nelly has been seen to have links to MAGA in the past, including performing at President Trump's inauguration, Ludacris aligned with the Democrats in the past. He threw his support behind Barack Obama in 2008 and 2012, and recently endorsed Hill Harper for Senate in 2024. So I don't know what happened. I don't know if um, he became more conservative, you know, regarding the increase in his tax bracket because of the tax. I don't know. Like I said, all money is not good money. I would hope that I would never. Actually, I know I wouldn't. I'm not even gonna say I hope. Because I was gonna say I don't know what multi millions, like everybody has a number they say that you sell out or whatever. No, I wouldn't. I know myself. I would never align myself, but that's me. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, all money is not good money. Because when we look back in the history books, we're going to see that you have to draw a line in the sand, right? And this is nothing new. There were slave catchers right after the Emancipation Proclamation, and even before him, there were the Ku Klux Klan. There were the Gestapo in Germany. This is you have to align yourself with um, people who are either ethical or not, moral or not, right? Because legality has never been the line for morality, right? People who are helping, runaway slaves on the Underground Railroad, they were not, or hiding, Jews in the attic like Anne Frank. They were breaking the law, quote unquote, but they were doing what was morally right. So when we look back in history, we're going to see that the ICE agents are not going to be remembered well. And it's unfortunate that Ludacris and Nelly have chosen to align themselves with people who are essentially anti-black, anti-immigrant, brown or black human, period. So, and even with Renee Good, they, pew-pewed her in the face 3 times, and she was a white woman. So this is a class war. And that's why I'm wondering, I don't know if because of his revenue has increased, if his morals have decreased. We'll never know. He did, like I said, he did drop out after reading all the comments, but it's unfortunate he was there to begin with. So you guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, Aces, and I will catch you in the next video. Take care. Bye.